Whew. What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Jack Yulee, man. I'm back here with another video, man. Today, we're going to talk about talk is cheap. Whole lot of this, nothing else. Look, man, I recently got a call from this girl who's trying to put together a music video for herself and putting together some promotion to promote her talent. And, she yesterday she reached out, and her and somebody like a mutual friend of ours reached out, and we were talking about the idea. And honestly, y'all go through this a lot. Like I go through this a lot with people who always have ideas and everything sounds so great. But then when it comes down to actually doing something, nowhere to be found. They got nothing. They don't show up. And it's kind of, I don't want to say heartbreaking, but it's a big letdown, man, when you have such a great concept or a great idea, or you see the potential in somebody who can't even show up for themselves. But back to the story, man. It's cool that like yesterday she hit me up and we talking and stuff about idea, and I'm still kind of on the fence, man, because I'm like, could just be another a bullshitter just talking. And at the end of the day, she hit me back up today, and she really like we sat down for like 2 hours just coming up with ideas. And it's been a minute since I done that with somebody who seemed like they genuinely interested, and it was cool to see like, okay, you taking that extra mile to sit here and plan it out makes me now want to be more invested. So it all just comes down to, again, we haven't done that yet, but it's always a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of planning, whole lot of strategic stuff when it comes to the pencil and pad. But when it comes to actually using your hands, your feet, and your mind and doing it, you're not showing up, man. That talk is cheap, bro. That talk is cheap, man. Let me fix the light. Don't nobody care about don't nobody care about the fact that you came up with a cool concept or you came up with a cool idea. That shit don't mean nothing without no type of execution. It literally means nothing. It don't mean anything, bro. Nothing at all. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that mindset of talking about stuff that's not really being worked on. Like, let's say if you tell me you make music or you a rapper, and I say, all right, when's the last time you went to the studio? And you tell me, well, I never been to a studio. Or I look at your page and you don't got no songs or nothing, or no snippets or nothing. It just makes you say like, oh, just a talker. Just talking. Talk is cheap, bro. Talk is cheap. You can't cash out on nothing. You can't cash out on your words. You can't cash out on that because it don't mean nothing. It's worthless. Valueless. Put some action behind what you're doing so that way people will want to follow you. People want to support you. People ain't going to want to support you just off the strength of you talking about it. They're going to support you off you being about it. That's what it comes down to as well. Being about what you're saying. And it ain't even really got nothing to do with being a man or anything like that. It's just being a person of standing on your principles, standing on what you're saying, standing on your word. If you can't do that as a human being, then you're not somebody that people gonna want to be around. You're not somebody that people gonna see as a leader. You're not somebody people gonna see as devoted or inspiring. Just gonna be another has been talking about shoulda, woulda, and coulda. Is that what you want to be? I'm just saying, man. Action, action, action. Talk is cheap. It's funny because I remember when I was like 19, right? I told this girl I wanted to be a rapper, and I remember one day she asked me. It was like probably the day after I told her that she asked me, "Did you go to the studio?" And I said no, and I was bullshitting that day, probably just getting high doing nothing. And it just then I didn't realize it, but now thinking back to it, I'm like, dang, that was the test too. That was the oh, he's just talking. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Like when you really sit there and ask yourself, when you tell people things, I want you to ask yourself, do you think they believe you? Do you think people believe you? And should they? Should people believe you when you tell them you're gonna do something? Are you the kind of person who, if people look back at your resume and say, the things that you said you would do, you did or you didn't do, what do you think people gonna say? When you tell somebody you gonna get something done, do they think your word do they think your word is bond? Is your word bond to a lot of people? Do you find yourself always talking about this new plan or this new idea, but it never comes into fruition. Not because you can't make it, but because you don't even try, because you just talking about it. I've been hearing a lot of, pretty much my whole life. Like my mom, she used to say she didn't like talk about things because she felt like the more people she told, then it just wouldn't come true. And I get that 100%. I understand that. And a lot of people, they want to keep things to themselves and just work on it, on their own. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Fix the light, man. Hold up, make sure the light right. Ain't nothing wrong with that, of course. But it really just comes down to the fact that even if you told your best friend or you told 100 people, I want to be an astronaut, or I'm gonna be an astronaut, or I'm working on being an astronaut, it really don't matter what you telling them. It's just mattering the promises that you kept to yourself. Is you working on being an astronaut truly? Is you really devoting your time and your, what I'm saying, devoting a lot to that, or you just talking about it? And people gonna know. And that's the thing. It ain't even really about what people know. You know when you look in the mirror like, man, I ain't did no kind of training to be no astronaut at all. I've been talking about it for a year. I ain't even did no kind of research for not even 10 minutes. You know the truth. So it's just one of the things, man. You got to look in the mirror and just ask yourself, do you want to be the person that's talking or the person that's doing? Do you want to be the person that's talking or the person that's doing? You going to ask advice. People don't want to ask advice from the person that read 100 books about it. They want to ask advice from the person that's been through 100 experiences about it. That's what it comes down to. Take action, man. My nose running like a mug. But yeah, man. It it's exciting to see, she's talking about music video and ideas for promo. It's just exciting to see how it seems like someone, like I'm starting to find people again that they not just talking, man. Like I told y'all, there are also people who wasted my time, and it's just talking about how this didn't work out, talking about how, I got this plan for this, and this. But when I ask you to show me, I'm only looking at stuff that's from the past, or it's stuff it's just meaningless stuff, man. Have some meaning behind what you're doing. Have some meaning behind what you say. My nose stuffed up right now, but have some meaning behind what you're saying. Have some meaning behind what you're doing. That way, the words will come into fruition, and what you're trying to do will come into fruition because you passionate about it, because you love it. You gonna make it come true. Your words and you speaking it out loud gonna make it come true. Not just you telling people about it just so you can seem like you own something, or you can seem like you got a plan for something. That's lame. Don't be on that, man. Don't be one of them people going around telling people like, oh, I got this going on. I'm working on this. I'm working towards this. Well, you know damn well you ain't. People know too, but more importantly, you know. And that word is bond shit is real, bro. That's real talk, man. People notice when they're around other people who spend a majority of time talking about things that they never do or that they never did. And to notice that on somebody, to see somebody that is talking but not doing, it definitely alters your perspective on that person, and it lets you know that you can't really trust them. Because if I know that you can't even be trusted with yourself, I'm not gonna trust you. Hell no. You can't even keep your promises to yourself. Or you gonna cross me, or you gonna fuck me over in some kind of way, or you gonna let me down in some capacity. I ain't going for it. Can't do it. I'm actually excited, man. I'm excited to see. This is again, this like I said, this is again one of the first people I'm meeting in this new, like I'll call it like cycles. It's like go through ups and downs and ebbs and flows. You go through like you might meet. I could say like 10 people last year in 2024, and out of them 10, maybe like 2 actually showed me that they was worth like investing some time into. And it's cool to see, like, okay, I'm starting to meet more people, and maybe this could be one of the people who actually is about what they be saying, not just pretending to be about what they saying, who really talk the talk and really walk the walk for real. Like, got stuff to back up what they doing. Don't let nothing stop you, man. Don't let none of that, oh, I got to get this right. That's just talk, man. That's all talk. That's all talk. This got to be right, and I don't have this, and It's just talk, man. You just talking. Talk is cheap. The talk is cheap, man. This gonna be a short video. I'm gonna actually cut this video short. I just had to bring y'all this quick video real quick to let y'all know, man. Talk is cheap. Do not just be talking. Put some action behind your words, man. Put some action. Put some planning in. But don't be planning too much. Don't be doing too much of planning. Take action, man. Your talk is cheap. Your words mean nothing. It's all about what you do and what you show. What do you have to show for what you're talking about? What do you have to show for the things that you telling people you're gonna do? What do you have to show for the things you telling people what you got planned? Where is it at? Let me see the plan. And if I can't see the plan, well, what have you worked on so far? You ain't worked on nothing. You got the plan, but you ain't worked on nothing. So what are we doing? Hey man, talk is cheap. I appreciate y'all tuning into the YouTube video. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.